is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about our next 5-star currently coming into Zenless Zone 0, and that is going to be Zhu Yuan. And I think this is going to be a very exciting character to come into the game, especially because she will be our second DPS and our second 5-star coming into the game. And with what she's able to do in regards to her damage, in regards to her movement, she's going to be a monster of a unit. But there are some drawbacks to Zhu Yuan at the current moment, something that Ellen doesn't have at the moment, and this is something we're going to talk about in what you should consider before we summon on Zhu Yuan, because there are some things that Ellen beats Zhu Yuan at, and there's some things that Zhu Yuan beats Ellen at, and we also have to include the future banner characters coming in 1.1 with Jane Doe and also with Qingyi as well. This is going to be a big portion of what we're looking at in regards to Zhu Yuan when it comes to her value between the character that's currently out, which is Ellen, and also the characters that are coming out after her. So before we get into all that, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub, all that different type of stuff, and let me know who are you summoning for, because right now either you summoned for Ellen already, which let me know if you summoned for her. Zhu Yuan is coming out, so I know a lot of people have been saving for her, and then we also have Jane Doe, Qingyi, and Seth as well. So a lot of really interesting and cool characters coming into the game, which is a really nice thing to see. But going ahead and talking about the character that is currently out in the game, which is Ellen, and this is the main thing that I want to talk about, because as our first character in the game, as our first 5-star, our first DPS, she has been an absolutely amazing unit, and there are some pros that come with Ellen that make it so much better to play her versus what Zhu Yuan is going to feel like at the start of the game, which I'm going to talk about when we get to her portion. But going into Ellen and what makes her so strong, she's able to give herself an enormous amount of bonuses when it comes to her damage, not only looking at the crit damage bonus that she gives herself, but also the team that she has in the game that is almost the best possible team that you could put in. She has so many units that she works with right now that are some of the best characters in the game. Some of these characters are included with Lycan, with how he's amazing with being able to stun the enemies, and not only that, with his core passive, he's actually able to reduce the ice res that these characters have, or these enemies have, when he ends up hitting them with the EX special attack or the assist follow-up. And not only that, he also has a really busted portion of his kit that allows you to get an extra stun days multiplier, which can give your damage an enormous boost when he ends up having the same faction character, which of course is going to be Ellen. The only characters that also come and help with the support are characters like Rina being able to give that res pen, which makes it so that you are ignoring defense. Very big to have. And then same thing with Sokaku being able to not only reduce the ice res that they have or give penetration with the dupes that she has in her kit, but also able to give a massive attack buff, and not only that, will be able to increase ice damage for the squad when she activates Fly the Flag. So right now, Ellen at the current moment has her full-on premium team that she's able to work with, one with the free unit and the other two coming from standard banner, which you might have pulled one of these on your starter pulls or probably in the standard banner when you ended up getting the pulls for it. Overall, she just has a complete team, whether it be ice res pen, whether it be defense ignore, or a massive attack boost and ice damage boost. She has everything that she could possibly want, including the damage bonuses that she gives herself from her core passive. And going into our next character, which I've already said enough for Ellen, she's just an amazing character, has her full team at the current moment. There's not much you can do else to be able to improve this, with all of what her teammates are able to do, and also all the synergies that she has at the current moment in the game. By far a really nice DPS and one of the most fleshed out ones in the game at the current moment. Going into our next character, which is going to be Zhu Yuan, she's going to be a really nice character as well, a very strong one at that, and I think has a higher potential than Ellen at the current moment, especially with looking at the teammates that she has currently and also what's coming in the future. But there's one thing that we do need to talk about for Zhu Yuan besides how strong she's going to be, because she will be very strong. She has a lot of ether damage, which is going to allow for quick corruption reactions, and not only that, she has a lot of movement. You will almost never have the chance to be able to not attack, because she has so much dodges and directional inputs that you could put into her strings, which make it almost impossible to get hit and allows you to have as much movement as possible, making it so that you're missing attacks, well, the enemies are missing attacks while you doing your own damage, and you're proccing all these corruptions, and it's overall a nasty amount of damage. She is a really good unit DPS wise, but there is one fault that Zhu Yuan has at the moment that Ellen doesn't have to worry about. And that is a complete premium team for her at the moment, which it sounds a little bit whaley or a little bit more spenderish to talk about, oh, these characters don't have full-on 5-stars for teams. I'm not talking about that specifically, because right now she does have a pretty nice team that she can rock with, and I will be doing a video on as we get closer to her release, which is going to be one of her best teammates, which is going to be Nicole, another ether unit that's a support unit, which helps her fulfill her core passive, which is actually a really good one. when you look at her core passive, it's actually going to be a little different than a lot of other characters, because hers is not going to be based on element and faction. Hers actually shows a little bit more synergy with a broader class of allies, which is when a character is a support character or shares the same faction, she gets 30% crit rate for 10 seconds after using her special attack, her chain attack, or her ultimate. This is a very big crit rate bonus and a massive amount at that, but the good thing about this is that she has it on support characters, not ether damage units, and ether damage units would have been very sparingly, especially since Nicole is the only other ether unit in the game at the current moment, so that would have been very restrictive to Zhu Yuan. But the reason why this is very important, the reason why it's a support class core passive, is because soon we're going to get future characters that will be coming out that are the PubSec class or the PubSec faction, and we're going to see a lot more synergy. This means that they don't have to confine themselves to being a same faction character or a just support character. So that means later on down the line, especially even right now, looking at Nicole, looking at characters like Rina, looking at characters like Sokaku and Lucy, all these characters could technically work on a Zhu Yuan team. Now, of course, looking at the characters that we have right now, Nicole is probably going to be the best in slot because she's able to give so much in regards to helping with the defense reduce that she has, which is an absolutely massive amount. So this is overall going to help out Zhu Yuan do a lot of damage, not only with the defense ignore that Nicole gives, also with the grouping Nicole gives, but also helping out with that ether reaction that you're going to non-stop proc with having Zhu Yuan on the team and also Nicole. But she has the possibility of having even res pen ignore with Rina, the attack boost with Sokaku, and even some other stuff with Lucy. I don't know how that's going to play, but you have a lot more options that you can use with Zhu Yuan, which is a really good thing that she has over something like Ellen. But at the moment, she doesn't have a lot of teammates besides someone like Nicole, who are going to be one of the best in slot supports, because when it comes to the rest of the team, we don't have many other faction characters or any faction characters for the PubSec class right now. And at the moment, your only other option to rock with Nicole is someone that's able to synergize with Nicole and not really Zhu Yuan, which would have to be Anby. And I think it's going to be by far one of the best teams that you're probably going to run at the current moment with Zhu Yuan, just because we don't have those characters to fulfill what she particularly wants, because we don't have any PubSec characters in the game right now, and there's also not many other support characters that are going to fill the role better than Nicole at the current moment because they match elements right now. She's still overall going to be a very strong character, just doesn't have a lot of availability when it comes to the characters that synergize with Zhu Yuan at the current moment. But going into the characters that will be coming out in the future, this is also going to be something very important because these characters do synergize with Zhu Yuan. And to look at Zhu Yuan's banner really quickly, we see that Nicole and also Ben are going to be the brand new 4-stars, or not the brand new 4-stars, but the featured ones coming into the game with Zhu Yuan. And I think this is a very big value 4-star, which is Nicole. Getting her copies are going to be very massive when it comes to helping out Zhu Yuan, especially because Nicole at the current moment is able to get some massive buffs from this, like gaining energy, which she really enjoys, and not only that, being able to have higher anomaly buildup, very good when it comes to the corruption that you're going to have. But not only that, being able to increase the bonus of the range of your pull-in from all of her field orbs that she's going to be throwing out. So this is a very strong thing to have and something to keep going for when it comes to her dupes. Very good thing that they're there with Zhu Yuan. Another thing to talk about is the engine if you're going to be summoning on the weapon banner, which is going to have Nicole's engine as well. And Nicole's engine is very strong. That is something that you should definitely look out for because of all that it gives. It gives extra ether damage and also gives all squad members a damage bonus against the target it's hitting, and also giving Nicole energy regen. So having that damage bonus and having this 40% defense down, that is a lot of value getting put towards Nicole helping out Zhu Yuan. So it's going to be really hard for someone like Nicole to be replaced unless they bring out another ether support that's as equally busted with what they're giving versus Nicole. But going into the next characters coming out, we do know characters like Jane Doe, Seth, and also Qingyi is going to come out. And the really exciting thing is that this character right here, Qingyi, we don't know the roles of any of these characters at the current moment officially, but Qingyi will be the same faction as Zhu Yuan. So we'll see a new character be able to synergize with Zhu Yuan at the current moment when it comes to what Zhu Yuan wants as a teammate, and Qingyi is going to be there for the faction bonus. Now, looking at what element she is, she's most likely lightning, because this is what she uses in the story. So seeing lightning with Zhu Yuan, we're probably going to see this character be either an attacker or a stunner, either or, because right now Nicole is a support, and that will complete, I guess you could say, Zhu Yuan's complete team in terms of being a premium overall synergistic team, with having Zhu Yuan as the DPS, Nicole as a support, and then having Qingyi as the Dazer. And this would help out because this would be the same faction bonus for Zhu Yuan, giving her what she would want for the most part, and a really nice thing to have for Zhu Yuan's particularly. I just noticed that actually kind of conflicts with having, oh no it doesn't, because Nicole shares the element with Zhu Yuan, so it still procs her core passive, which is a really nice thing. So this is the only character right now that we know so far that is a confirmed synergy with Zhu Yuan, so we are going to see some support for her as time goes by. Same thing with Seth as well. We do know these two are going to be part of the same faction, helping out Zhu Yuan, so we'll probably see this be a lower tier type of character to help out Zhu Yuan and be synergistic with her. Same way we have a Qingyi being able to be the premium version of that support or stunner or whoever she is in regards to her role. There's going to be added bonus, and we'll probably see a more full and more synergistic team with Zhu Yuan when these two characters come out. The next character is going to be Jane Doe, and funny enough, she has a lot to her that is unknown. We don't know if she's going to be part of any of the factions we have currently in the game, and we also don't know if she's going to be bringing a new one or is part of the factions that we have right now. So this is going to be very interesting. Either we're going to get 3 characters that are going to be able to synergize with Zhu Yuan after her release, or we're probably going to see 2 come out and a brand new faction come out, or something that we haven't seen before for Jane Doe. It's honestly very interesting. So if you are going to be looking forward to getting Zhu Yuan at the current moment, you should definitely keep an eye out for what these characters do, which are Qingyi and also Seth, because these guys are going to be able to help out with Zhu Yuan and fulfilling her core passive, and maybe even synergize better than someone like Nicole and someone like Ambi as time goes by. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video when it comes to all the things that you should consider before you summon on Zhu Yuan, talking about Ellen, talking about Zhu Yuan's power at the current moment, and also talking about the future characters coming out after Zhu Yuan. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.